Hey guys, what's happening? This is Rydek from Rogue Sheep Gaming.
And Unaided Knave.
And we got some Destiny gameplay for you. This is going to go ahead and be the first mission in the co-op section of the game. Love the screen, how you just kind of go in with your ship and you sort of drop in. Always wanted that in a multiplayer game for some reason, especially the military shooters that we have now with Battlefield. I think that would be an awesome way to kind of bring you into the match where you get dropped in on a drop ship or you come in on a chopper or something like that.
We were lucky to even find this ship. A Guardian can't do much.
And now we're just kind of hanging out over the planet here, getting our mission brief, and that's the one thing that I also do like you were mentioning in the last video we had. Go ahead and check that one out as well. That's the basically the epilogue of our series. And as what we now have is we have our ships kind of hovering in place, and the ghost that you have kind of explains the missions beforehand and kind of during the way. It's sort of a little informational guy, kind of the Cortana-esque version of this game.
Yep. So right here, you forgot to edit this out actually.
Yeah, I kind of did. Well, anyway, this is what happens when you let people play on your account. You kind of have to remess with your settings sometimes and get yourself back in the game here. So here we go ahead. We're going to go ahead and push out here into the map. This is old Russia. And very, very beautiful-esque landscape going on here. The one thing that I do appreciate about Bungie is their element to detail, like the swaying grass and such. Very, very popular mechanics since Skyrim, I do believe so.
Yeah.
Oh.
So right here, we're getting ready to start off this first mission. Gonna run into some fallen up here ahead of us. Once Rydek figures out his bearings.
Yeah, kind of having to work around a little bit here, trying to figure out what's going on. I wanted to get the maximum amount of exposure for the level as I possibly could, sort of give everybody, if you didn't get a chance to play it, it was an amazing experience. And by the way, as of the filming of this, and yep, that's another rookie mistake right there, not going to busy settings, so those pop-ups don't come up. Here's those Fallen you were talking about, as we're going to go ahead and rage a little bit of a war here against these guys, and we got a crashed ship that we're going to investigate.
So here we're looking for the warp drive for the ship that we picked up in the last mission and their epilogue. So there goes me dipping. Couldn't help it. So right here, the ghost is gonna tell you that we need to go back to where we found the ship in the first place, and we'll run into some more Fallen in there in the caves and into another boss.
Sort of great with the interaction. It kind of reminds me of Gears of War when you had Jack, the little interaction with him, where you had a character that would sort of open doors for you, or he would sort of hack a terminal, and it would just make that, you know. And of course, every time that he hacked the terminal, you knew you were going to have to fight wave after wave after wave of guy. You know,
never played much of Gears of War myself.
Very good franchise.
Never was a fan of camera angles. I mean, I have it. I have a copy of Gears of War 1, but
yeah, third person over the shoulder doesn't seem to suit a lot of people. That's the reason why I like first person shooters. I mean, I'm basically shooters in general. I don't mind third person, first person, whatever. It just, as long as you get the full gameplay experience, it doesn't feel like you're just running around shooting guys with no purpose.
I can handle a third person video game, but when it comes to third person over the shoulder kind of thing, just not a fan of it. I mean, just like God of War. Never was a fan at all. Never will be.
Ooh, probably made a little bit of people mad right there. As you saw, I picked up a glowing orb right there. You get those scattered throughout. Those are enemy loot drops. They basically can drop encrypted blueprints, basically, that you can mod and craft into other weapons. And we're gonna go ahead and kind of round out through here, and it looks like we found ourselves sort of a cartographer room, if you would say, sort of a giant map of the entire old Russia, and he's gonna go ahead and scan this.
So we can jump to any planet or moon.
Just find it very amazing that all of this technology can be shut down for so long, and then all of a sudden you just come in and it
come
turns
on to your little buddy Ghost, and he turns everything back on.
Turns everything right back on immediately. And the final thing that we're going to go ahead and mention is that The playlist for the Destiny beta will be up after this, and I believe we have 3 more. We have 3 more videos coming out with this, and we also have the exclusive Moon gameplay. If you guys didn't get a chance to catch that during the time it was open, we managed to get a copy of that, as that's exclusively here at Rogue Sheep Gaming. One more look at the sort of wallish area that we're out here, and
A landscape.
yeah, it's kind of different to be sort of. It feels very closed off. This definitely feels
Yeah.
like a beta section of a game where
Yeah.
you're in a wall, and you have only so much area to play with. Go ahead and just sort of check out these enemies here. I was really amazed at the fact that the AI, they get cover, and
Yeah, they're
and-
very interactive.
Exactly, yeah, they gain cover, and if you get too close to them and they're weak, they try to run away. They don't just charge or stand there and shoot blindly at you.
Yep. One feature I do enjoy about this game too is the double jump. The little jetpack boost that you get further on in the game after I think level 3 or 4.
Yeah, I believe you unlock it at 3.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Very nice adaptation. It's especially nice that you don't have, like, that's not using up like an ability, like a slot on your character where you're pretty much stuck. Right there, I didn't know if you guys just saw that, but that was Nave collecting that golden chest. We do have that video up if you guys wanted to click on that. I don't know if those chests are going to be in the full version of the game, but I don't see why not. I mean, I don't see why they would. I don't see why they would take them out.
So here we're running into the first Archon, is what we believe it is.
Yeah, it's an Archon. Yeah.
After we clear out these fallen here, you get a boss fight. It's the Devil Archon, I believe, is what the name of this.
And when
enemy
you enter a boss area, it's kind of a neat effect where if you by yourself, it's kind of like an iron effect where you start over from the beginning if you die. And if it's co-op, you kind of have to revive your characters. They don't get the option to revive themselves. And speaking of the Archon enemy, here he is right here. He seems to have pattern movements. I noticed he'll stay there until you drop about a quarter of his health, maybe a little bit more. And then he will move out. More enemies will kind of spawn in around him, and then he starts moving around the map. But once he gets below a quarter of his health, he starts moving around a lot, and he starts making life very difficult for you because you've got the other enemies running around you.
You got the Fallens that use the pulse rifles, as well as the Fallen that we spoke of in our earlier video that dual wield 2 knives and cause one hell of a problem for you.
One thing that I did notice is reviving your characters, especially during battle. You can revive and reload, or you can revive and shoot. You can revive and move at the same time. If you hold the X button or the square button for PlayStation users, you can start reviving right when you get up to them. I mean, that's a great feature that you don't have to sit there and get the button to appear on the screen and then hold it. You can just automatically be holding it as you walk up to them. Maybe you can hit your reload as you're doing it, or maybe you can just sit there and spray with it. Like I was saying, he's about a quarter health, and he just starts charging you at this point.
As you saw earlier, just a few seconds ago, he has a stomp attack, which unfortunately wiped me out, no problem. I think it's the second time I died during that boss fight.
And I was going to say, once you guys keep pushing and pushing, you'll finally throw enough ammo into him where he actually will go down. And then you'll, of course, collect the warp drive that you need to jump to other planets. Funny thing about that, I collected a single rocket at the very end of that fight with about 5 seconds left to go on the timer, which would have been helpful a lot.
Helpful beforehand.
Exactly.
Before we killed the boss.
Yeah. The one thing that I do like in the campaign as well is it comes up with your stat screen, and it gives you all of your tree abilities, where you're at, what you're leveling up.
Slowly leveling up.
And then it also gives you, the way you can look at your kills, your deaths, your assists, and it also gives you a look at the other player's loot. You can kind of yell at them and be like, "Hey, asshole, nice gun."
Yeah.
Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this commentary, but we're going to go ahead and leave you guys with the end cinema for the first level. This is Rydek
and Unnated Knave
with Rogue Sheep Gaming.
There was a time when we were much more powerful. But that was long ago. Until it wakes and finds its voice, I am the one who speaks for the traveler. You must have no end of questions, Guardian. In its dying breath, the traveler created the ghosts to seek out those who can wield its light as a weapon. Guardians to protect us and do what the traveler itself no longer can.
What happened to it?
I could tell you of the great battle centuries ago. How the traveler was crippled. I could tell you of the power of the darkness, its ancient enemy. There are many tales told throughout the city to frighten children. Lately, those tales have stopped. Now, the children are frightened anyway. The darkness is coming back. We will not survive it this time.
Its armies surround us. The Fallen are just the beginning.
What can I do?
You must push back the darkness. Guardians are fighting on Earth and beyond. Join them. Your ghost will guide you. I only hope he chose wisely.
I did. I'm sure of it. We're in this together now.